Hello students, after the completion of our MCQ part 1 and MCQ part 2 of NCERT exemplar, now we continue with our journey from question number 44 to onwards. The short answer type of questions is given in your NCERT exemplar. So how particularly this answer that we have to write in our question paper or in our answer paper. So number 44 is the question which can be asked in such a manner that aryl chlorides and bromides, means they says that chlorobenzene and bromobenzene can be easily prepared by the electrophilic substitutions of arenes with chlorine and bromine respectively in the presence of Lewis acid catalyst. But why does not preparations of aryl iodide requires a presence of an oxidizing agent? So here the questions pattern says that if I want to prepare a chlorobenzene and bromobenzene from benzene with the help of FeCl3Cl2 or FeCl3Br2, it is possible. But same way, if I take a Lewis acid like FeI3 and if I continue with these reactions in presence of methyl iodide or particularly in the presence of FeI3 and I2, so there is no the process is a reversible process, because due to the size of iodine, we know that iodine is having a molecular size is greater compared to the chlorine and bromine. So iodination reactions are reversible in nature, that we have to particularly discuss in our hydrocarbon portions when we conduct the reactions of alkane or the halogenation of alkane, the same scenario that we have to observe in this point of arene 2. So iodination reactions are reversible in nature, so to carry out the reactions in the forward directions, because in the case of when benzene is reacts with iodine in presence of Lewis acid catalyst, they form iodine and HI, but this reactions is a reversible reaction. So what is the solution of these reactions? I want to reactions in a forward reaction, so it's a now you have to remove the HI. So for removal of HI, if I use a periodic acid or nitric acid, in such a case, suppose for example periodic acid if I use, so this periodic acid is an oxidizing agent which oxidizes HI into I2, so now the amount of HI is decreasing. So regarding to Le-Chatelier principle, now our reactions now in the forward direction. So this is the point. Next one, out of ortho and para, out of ortho and para dibromobenzene, which one has higher melting point and why? So we know that ortho, because in the para dibromobenzene the situation is like that. In the para dibromobenzene the structure is given in such a way that in this case para dibromobenzene, because both bromine are at a opposite condition, so their polarity is almost zero, so it's a non-polar compound. And number two, they are at the symmetric positions. So when the compound is seen in the symmetric positions, it means that their close-pack arrangement in lattice arrangement is perfect. So it's difficult to break this, or it's required a more amount of energy to break this lattice arrangement. So the boiling point of para dibromobenzene is quite higher than compared to the ortho in nature, right? Next one, which of the compound will react faster in SN1 reactions while the OH minus? Here they give the CH3CH2Cl and C6H5CH2Cl. We know that if I particularly remove this CH3CH2Cl with the help of carbocation, so it's a primary carbocation. Same way here a primary carbocation. Okay, but we know that this primary carbocation is unstable, while this primary carbocation is stable due to resonance as well as aromatizations. So this reaction is quite comfortable for SN1 reactions with the OH minus ion. So it's a faster in nature. Why iodoform? Why iodoform has appreciable antiseptic property? We know that iodoform does not having such a type of property, but when iodoform is due to the liberations of this free iodine, and this free iodine having a antiseptic properties. That's why we have to use a iodoform. Haloarenes are less reactive than haloalkanes and haloalkenes. Explain. We know that in the electron pair of the chlorine is involved in the resonance. So out of 5 canonical structure, 3 structures having a partially double bond character. So it's not easy to remove CCl bond, or it's not easy to break CCl bond. Number 2, in the case of CCl bond, your carbon is sp2 hybridized. It's another point, because where the percentage of S character in your haloarenes is near about 33.33%, so they attract also the bond length is quite decreasing, so it's difficult to break. That's the reactivity decrease. Discuss the role of Lewis acid in the preparations of aryl bromide and chloride in the dark. So the presence of Lewis acid favors the formations of halonium ion, and that acts as a nucleophile. So the Lewis acid such as FeX3 is used. So for any compounds there is a presence of Lewis acid is mandatory. Now which of the following compounds 1 and 2 will not react with a mixture of sodium bromide and H2SO4? Explain why. Because in the case of phenol, in 2 there is a partial double bond character, because we know that there is a resonating structure. So out of this phenol 5 resonating structure or canonical structure, out of 3 are having a double bond characteristic. So it's difficult to break this CO bond. So it will not react with sodium bromide and H2SO4. While in this case there is no resonance phenomena that we have to observe, so it's easy to break this OH with the help of sodium bromide and H2SO4. Next one, 51 number question. So 51 number questions, they ask like that: which of the products will be major product in the reactions given below? Explain. Here you see that there is a propene and HI. We know that this is a asymmetric alkene, and when it reacts with HI, so definitely we have to use a Markovnikov rule. And regarding to the Markovnikov rule, your more electronegative portions of the HI is joined with the lesser number of hydrogen containing carbon. So this B product is major in nature and A is minor in nature. Now, why is the solubility of haloalkanes in water is very low? That we have to discuss in our NCERT exercise 2, because we know that in the case of haloalkanes, so there is a attractions between haloalkane and haloalkane, and this attraction is called as a dipole attractions. Same way there is attractions between water and water with the help of hydrogen bond. So it's difficult to if this haloalkane, if the haloalkane is soluble in water, so it means that there is a attractions between haloalkane and water, so they release the energy, but the amount of this release the energy is quite low to as compared to you have to break the bond between haloalkane and water. So it's the solubility of haloalkane in water is too low. Now draw the next question. Draw other resonating structures related to the following structure and find out whether the functional group present in the molecule is ortho para directing or meta directing. Definitely we observed a non-bonded electron pair. The compound who directly attach with the phenyl ring having a lone pair, it means that they donate the electron to the phenyl ring. It's a definitely ortho and para directing group, and these are the 5 canonical structures that we have to already understand in our prior session as well as in the hydrocarbon lesson. Now classify the following compound as a primary, secondary and tertiary halide. 1-bromo-butene, so it's a 1-bromo-butene. So bromine connected carbon is connected with 1, so it's a primary. Bromine connected carbon is connected with 2 carbon, so it's a secondary. Here the bromine connected carbon is connected with 3, so it's a tertiary. Next one is a good question. Compound A with a molecular formula C4H9Br. The meaning of C4H9Br, it means that we have different four different types of isomers, right? 1-bromobutane, 2-bromobutane, 2-bromo-2-methyl, and this isobutyl bromide. So out of 4, they all are treated with aqueous KOH solution. The meaning of aqueous KOH solution means there is a presence of water, so there is a phenomena of solvation. It means that they favor the SN1 reaction. Okay. Now the rate of this reaction is depends upon the concentration of the compound A only. So it's confirmed that our reaction is always SN1, and SN1 reaction is always easy for tertiary halide, right? So our first particular point is like that. This is 2-bromo 2-methyl-propane KOH, so it's give 2-methyl-propane 2-ol. Now another point, when another optically active isomer, so out of this 4, only one optically isomer is 2-bromobutane. Of this compound was treated with aqueous KOH solution. The rate of the reaction was found to be dependent on concentration of the compound and KOH both. It means that they favors the SN2 reactions, right? So the reaction is like that. This is 2-bromobutane and it's a chiral in nature. If it reacts with KOH with the SN2 reaction, it's converted into butane 2-ol. They are the enantiomers of each other. Write the structures in. Name of the compounds formed when compound A with molecular formula C7H8. The C7H8 means toluene and is treated with chlorine in presence of FeCl3. So it's a electrophilic substitutions reactions. First, this FeCl3 and Cl2, they are react with each other and they form a Cl plus as a electrophile. This electrophile is now attracted towards to the pi electron cloud of this phenyl ring. As we know that this toluene is orthopara directing group due to hyperconjugation. So we get a orthochlorotoluene and parachlorotoluene. Next one, 57 number question. Identify the products A and B formed in the following reactions. Right? They give CH3CH2 CH double bond CH3 plus HCl. We know that it's a Markovnikov rule because this is alkene is unsymmetric in nature. So regarding to the Markovnikov rule, this HCl or HI whatever, but here for example if they given HCl, so either chlorine or chlorine, right? So this one is the here chlorine, same way chlorine. So it's a major and minor in nature. So it's an easy question. Next one, question number 58. What they ask in question number 58. Okay. So in this question, which of the following compounds will have the highest melting point and why? You know that the compound 1, 2 and 3. But this compound having a higher, because 2 chlorine at the opposite position, 2 methyl is the opposite positions, and it's a symmetrical structure, and symmetrical structure having a close spec arrangement, and due to this close spec arrangement, this lattice arrangement, it's quite near, so it's difficult to break this bond. So melting point of this compound is quite good. Now write down the structures and the IUPAC name. For neopentyl bromide. What is the meaning of neopentyl bromide? Means bromine connected carbon or the terminal or second carbon from the terminal carbon. They are attached with a 2-methyl group. It's called as a neo, right? So it's a neopentyl. So name of this compound 1, 2, 3. So it's called as a 1-bromo 2,2-dimethyl propane. Next question is the same question that can be asked in our NCERT solved solution. A hydrocarbon of molecular mass 72 gram per mole gives a single monochloro derivative. Single monochloro derivatives this means because we know that 72 is the molecular weight of normal pentane or pentane. Pentane having a 3 different isomers: normal pentane, isopentane, and neopentane. But the arrangement of neopentane in such a way that if the monochlorination of this compound always gives a one compound on the photochlorination. Now, 2 dichloro derivatives on photochlorinations give the structure of the hydrocarbon. So, if the 2 hydro means there is a one possibilities of 1,1 dichloro and this is 1,2 dichloro. So, 2 different derivatives of this compound. Okay. Now, name of the alkenes which will yield chloro 1-methyl cyclohexene by its reaction with hydrochloric acid. Right. So first, if I having this 1-methyl hexene, when we have to add HCl, it's a Markovnikov rule because it's unsymmetric in nature. So chlorine is connected with a lesser number of hydrogen containing carbon at here, and hydrogen is joined at here. So first point. And number 2, this methyl cyclohexene, the same problem. Chlorine is connected with at here, and hydrogen is connected or edited at here. So we get a product is like that. Number 62. Which of the following haloalkanes reacts with the aqueous KOH most easily? So it suggests that aqueous KOH means there is a protic solvent like water, and most easily it means that a tertiary, if any possibilities of tertiary, so they definitely convert into tertiary carbocation, it's more stable and they favor the SN1 reactions. So our answer is like the 2-bromo 2-methyl propane, because it's a tertiary in nature, it's a secondary in nature, it's a secondary in nature, it's a primary in nature. So this compound number 3 is most easily react with a aqueous KOH. Number 63. What they given? Why can aryl halides do not prepare by the reactions of phenol with hydrochloric acid in the presence of ZnCl2? We know that if the reactions of hydrochloric acid in presence of ZnCl2, because in the phenol, out of this phenol, 3 canonical structures giving the informations that they having a double bond characteristic. So it means that in phenol you observe a double bond characteristic, so it's hard to break the CO bond. So this is due to the partial double bond character of CO bond in phenol. Which of the following compounds would undergo SN1 reaction? Mind well, SN1 reactions faster, and why? We know that this both compound, right, either they particularly form, so it's a CH2 plus, and same way here the CH2 plus, but this carbocation compared to this carbocation is less stable. Why? Because why this carbocation is stable? Because this carbocation is stabilized by resonance as well as aromatizations. Here there is no resonance and aromatizations, so it means that the SN1 reaction is faster in this case. Next one, allyl chloride is hydrolyzed more readily than normal propyl chloride. Why? Allyl chloride. What is the meaning of allyl chloride? Means we have to draw the structure of allyl chloride is like that: CH2 double bond CH2Cl. It's a allyl chloride, right? If it's why hydrolyzed as compared to the normal propyl chloride? Because if they remove Cl, so we get a carbocation. Same way in the case of normal propyl chloride is also carbocation. Both are primary carbocation, but this carbocation is highly stable due to resonance. Why? There is no resonance phenomena that we have to observe in normal propyl chloride. It means that this allyl chloride is hydrolyzed more readily compared to the normal propyl chloride. Why is it necessary to avoid even traces of moisture during the use of Grignard reagent? We all know that Grignard reagent is highly reactive. Why they are highly reactive? Because in Grignard reagent there is R minus. It's a very good carbanion, and we know that the tendency of carbanion is joined with any type of proton. We know that the moisture or any type of humidity having a H plus, so is definitely joined with this carbanion and convert into hydrocarbon. That's why it's necessary to avoid even traces of moisture during the use of Grignard reagent. That's why most of the Grignard reagents or the preparations of Grignard reagent in presence of anhydrous ether. How do polar solvent help in the first step in SN1 mechanism? We know that in the first step of SN1 mechanism, we have to break the CX bond, and this CX bond is the energy of this to break this bond, which can become from the solvations portion. So that's why the polar solvents having a very good dielectric constant. So the role of the polar solvent is to ionize the alkyl halide to form a carbocation and to solvate the ion. Next one, they ask the questions in in this manner, right? What they ask: write a test to detect the presence of double bond in molecule. This is the old question. This question may be asked in hydrocarbon portion 2, but it is also connected with this lesson 2, right? Double bond when reacts with bromine, it's a bromine having a brown color, so brown color is disappear, so it's a test for unsaturation. As well as when the double bond is reacted with a cold and dilute KMnO4 of the purple color is disappear. It's the test which can be given by Bayer, so it's called as Bayer's test. Now, next one, diphenyls are potential threats to the environment. We know that this diphenyl, because diphenyl is they disturb our DNA structures and it causes the symptoms of cancer. That's why they are potential threat to the environment. And how are these produced from aryl halide? Because regarding to the Fittig reactions, when we have to take a 2 mole of chlorobenzene or halobenzene, when it reacts with the sodium, granules of sodium in dry ether, so it's a Fittig reactions, and we get a diphenyls. Then, what are the IUPAC name of the insecticide of DDT and benzene hexachloride? The name of the DDT is like that, para-paradase dichloro. So it's 2,2-bis 4-chlorophenyl, 2,2-bis 4-chlorophenyl, and this is 1,1,1-trichloroethane. While the name of this compound is 1,2,3,4,5,6 hexachlorocyclohexane is the name of benzene hexachloride, but we have to draw the structure of benzene hexachloride like that. These substances are non-biodegradable and are highly toxic. So besides this, they get stored in fatty tissues and their concentrations keep increasing in the food chain. And I think so that this at that point of this discussion, we have to give the examples of vulture in gill. They destroy now the counting of this vulture is decreasing due to this drawback of this DDT. Now, next one. Elimination reactions, and especially beta eliminations reactions, are as common as the nucleophilic substitutions reaction in case of alkyl halides. Specify the reagents used in both cases. We know that in the case of nucleophilic substitutions reactions, for example, if a person who take a OH minus as a nucleophile or OH minus act as a base 2, but this OH minus is definitely is a strong in nature, but if we perform the reactions of KOH in presence of ethanol, so they form a C2H5O minus, and C2H5O minus is quite it's a remarkable strong in nature compared to the OH minus. Number two, C2H5O minus is also having some crowding effect, and this due to crowding effect, now it's not act as a nucleophile, but it acts as a base, and they absorb or they attract the proton from the beta hydrogen, or they accept the hydrogen from beta positions. That's why the difference between eliminations and nucleophilic substitutions reactions. Next one, how will you obtain monobromobenzene from aniline? It's a old questions. Aniline, first diazotizations with NaNO2 plus 2 mole of hydrochloric acid is used. So at that time NaCl and 2 mole of water is released. So we get a benzene diazonium chloride. And this benzene diazonium chloride, with the help of Saint-Meilleur reaction, Cu2Br2HBr, right, or CuBr is also used. So it gives a bromobenzene. Number 73, the question is asked like that: aryl halides are extremely less reactive towards the nucleophilic substitutions reactions. Predict the explain and the order of the reactivity of the following compounds toward nucleophilic substitution. This question is asked in our MCQ part 2. We know that this chlorine, all are having a nitro, but from 1, 2, 3, this nitro group are increasing. This nitro is an electron withdrawing group. So if the electron withdrawing group, so it means that the partial characteristics of double bond is decreasing due to this electron withdrawing group, and it's a para position. Same way here, the ortho para position 2, 4, 6 is the same one. So our order of the nucleophilic substitution reaction, 1 is little bit hard compared to 2, and 2 is compared to the 3. So the rate, so the order of the reactivity is 3 to 1. Now, tertiary butyl iodide. What they given? Tertiary butyl iodide bromide reacts with aqueous NaOH by SN1, while normal butyl bromide reacts with SN2 reaction. Why? I want to first normal butyl bromide, tertiary butyl. So there is a steric hindrance. So that's why if I reacts with the aqueous NaOH, so aqueous NaOH, so they first form a stable carbocation and converts into tertiary butyl. But in the case of normal butyl bromide, so there is no such type of crowding effect or steric hindrance that we have to observe. So attack of OH minus from the back side to normal butyl bromide. So we get a pentavalent transition state of carbon, which is definitely unstable, and it's not a state, it's a intermediate positions. And further, there is a removal of bromine, so we get a normal butyl alcohol. And as we know that the configuration of this normal butyl bromide and normal butyl alcohol are opposite in nature. Next one, predict predict the major product formed when HCl is added to isobutylene. So we know that this is isobutylene hydrochloric acid, so it's an asymmetric alkene, and when we have to perform with hydrochloric acid is also asymmetric, so we have to use a Markovnikov rule. And regarding to the Markovnikov rule, more electronegative portions of hydrochloric acid, means chlorine, is react with a lesser number of hydrogen containing carbon attached with double bond. So our product is 2-chloro-2-methyl-propane. Next question is a question number 76. What they discuss the nature of CX bond in the haloarenes. So CX bond in haloarenes is definitely it's a partially positive and partially negative. So it's a polar in nature that we have to discuss in our NCERT as well as our descriptive portions. What is the nature of the CX bond? Okay. Now, how can you obtain iodoethane from ethanol when no other iodine containing reagent except NaI is available in the laboratory? What the question is, how can you obtain iodoethane from ethanol? I want to prepare iodoethane. Either you have to perform these reactions ethanol with hydrochloric acid in presence of anhydrous ZnCl2, we get a C2H5Cl, or same way HBr is also used. But after the C2H5Cl, now the displacement of this chlorine with, or it's a halogen exchange method, and it's a Finkelstein reaction. So in presence of acetone and sodium iodide, we get a product C2H5 And last one is a 78 of these short questions. Cyanide ion act as an ambiguous nucleophile from which end it acts as a stronger nucleophile in the aqueous medium. Give the reason to your answer. We know that in the case of cyanide, is act as a stronger nucleophile because at the carbon end, because it will lead to the formation of CC bond, which is more stable than the CN bond if linkage is from the nitrogen side. Because in the case of CN bond, why? Because in the case of CN there is a catenation phenomena is breakdown, so they form a cyanide ion, or its process is called as cyanation. So for these sessions we have to stop at here 78. Now after in this next lecture, the remaining questions of this NCERT exemplar that we have to complete it. Thank you very much.